What would you do if tomorrow you went to the supermarket and there was no food left? No meat, no bread, no rice, no milk, no water, just empty shelves and people walking around in silence trying to understand what's happening. It sounds like something from a movie, but the truth is, this could happen faster than most people think, and if it did, society wouldn't collapse in years, it would start collapsing in days. We live in a world where food is always available. You go to the supermarket and everything is there, every day, at any time. But what most people don't realize is that supermarkets don't store months of food. Most supermarkets only have enough food for a few days. Modern cities don't produce food, they only receive food. Cities depend on trucks arriving every single day. If those trucks stop arriving, the entire system starts to break very quickly. The first 24 hours would be confusing, not dangerous. People would walk into supermarkets and see empty shelves. At first, they would think it's just a delivery problem, maybe a strike, maybe a transport issue, maybe a temporary shortage. People would go to another supermarket and then another one, and then another one, and they would all be empty. That's when people start to realize that something is wrong. Then panic buying begins. People start buying everything they can find. Canned food, pasta, rice, flour, frozen food, snacks, water, anything that lasts long. People don't buy what they need, they buy as much as they can carry. In just one day, most supermarkets would be completely empty. Gas stations would start running out of supplies. People would start talking about it on the news and on social media. But at this point, most people would still think the problem will be solved quickly. After 3 days, the real problem starts. Most families only have food at home for 2 or 3 days. Refrigerators start getting empty, restaurants close because they have nothing to cook. Delivery apps stop working because there is nothing to deliver. Schools may close. Many people would start missing meals. People start to worry, and then they start to panic. When people get hungry, they don't think the same way. Society starts to change when basic needs disappear. Small problems become big problems. People start arguing, fighting, and trying to find food wherever they can. Long lines would appear anywhere food is available. Police presence would increase. Governments would start talking about emergency measures. After 1 week, food becomes more valuable than money. Prices would skyrocket. A bag of rice could cost $50 or even $100. A bottle of water could become extremely expensive. Money starts losing its value because you can't eat money. People would start trading items like batteries, medicine, fuel, or tools in exchange for food. Some people would try to steal food. Small stores would get robbed. Trucks carrying food would need police protection. Long lines would form wherever food appears. People would wait for hours just to get a small amount of food. At this point, this is no longer a normal situation. This is survival. The strongest and the most prepared people would have an advantage. Everyone else would be struggling every day just to eat. After 1 month, this becomes a national crisis. The government would have to step in and control food distribution. Rationing would begin. People would only be allowed to buy small amounts of food per week. You would probably need an ID or a card to receive food. Long lines would become part of daily life. Many businesses would close because without food, people don't have energy to work, and without workers, companies stop operating. Factories stop. Construction stops. Transport stops. Offices close. The economy starts collapsing because the economy depends on people working, and people cannot work without food. This is no longer just a food crisis. This becomes an economic crisis and a social crisis. If the situation continues for 3 months, society would look completely different. Many people would leave big cities trying to find food in rural areas. Communities would start organizing to protect food and resources. Governments would prioritize food production and distribution above everything else. At this point, food is the most important resource in the world, more important than money, more important than technology, more important than anything else. Countries would try to secure food supplies. Conflicts between regions or countries could start because food is not just survival, food is power. The scary part is that this is not science fiction. This is a realistic scenario. Modern cities don't produce food, they only store food for a few days. Everything depends on a very fragile system. Trucks, fuel, roads, drivers, warehouses, supermarkets, electricity, and logistic systems. If something breaks in that chain, a war, a massive strike, a fuel shortage, a cyber attack, an economic collapse, or a natural disaster, trucks stop. And when trucks stop, food stops arriving. And when food stops arriving, supermarkets become empty in just a few days. So the question is not, what if there was no food? Because that scenario is actually possible. The real question is, if food disappeared today, if supermarkets were empty and no more food was arriving, How long would you survive? Because in the end, when food disappears, money doesn't matter. Cars don't matter. Phones don't matter. Technology doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is one simple thing: food, and the people who have food have power.